Hello and welcome to this tutorial on learning how to paint for beginners. That is absolute beginners, someone who has never painted in their life. And in this tutorial I am convinced that anyone who wants to paint, to become a painter, amateur, professional, whatever, if there's a difference, anyone who wants to do that can do so. So now that we're in a pandemic on the year 2020 April, you have a lot of time, everyone has a lot of time to learn how to paint. And you'll be at home, it's preferable to be at home at these times to avoid to catch that terrible disease that is circulating on our planet. So here it is. Here is how to learn how to paint. No matter what scholar degree you have, no matter how much schooling you have, or even if you have none at all, if you can use a pen, a pencil, and some paper, you are ready and able to learn how to paint. So we're going to begin with the very first thing that you will learn to do for painting, which is to draw. Drawing is the first step for painting. It's the base of painting. You might want to attempt to paint without drawing, but it is as usual the very first thing that you need to do, and it is very easy to learn how to do it. If a 5-year-old child can do it, you can do it too. You probably did it when you were a kid, but you have since forgotten that you used to draw with a lot of enthusiasm at that time. This surface that I'm using is an old paper notebook right here, and that's all you will need. Just recycled paper, blank sheets of paper, anything that you can get your hands on right now in your house. You don't need to go out and buy any type of material. You could even start your first drawings on cardboard, plain cardboard, a cornflakes box, anything that you can get your hands on right now. Here's like the manual for a lock that I bought a long time ago. It's old paper, but it can be used. You can draw on any surface made of paper, even wood and all that, but for now the best thing would be to draw on paper. So I have a plain household pen right here, and I just took my little container where I toss all my old bits of pencils, crayons, anything that I have found in my house and that has no place. But now I have a choice of pens that don't work, some pencils that are at half length, whatever, and I take a pen which works, and that will be enough to begin. So here we go. Here's the first lesson on how to draw, how to start making realistic drawings with your hands that have not yet acquired the knowledge and the experience, above all, to make drawing. So if you can make a stick figure, you can become a painter pretty quickly, I think. So here's my basic stick figure. It's just the head, a circle, and a couple of sticks that represent the arms and the legs. Anyone can do that. And now the second step would be to make the same stick figure with a little more volume. In other words, make the arms thicker, the body thicker with another line, the legs thicker with another line, and like that. So now you have a stick figure with volume. You just have to add a line for each line that you made. And I'm going to make one right next to it, like that. My stick figure, just like that. I don't care if it's very straight. I don't care if it's a little crooked. I just do it. It's right there on the paper. So now I have a human body, a very basic, very primitive human body. I'm going to do it with my left hand, which is less educated for drawing, because it's the same thing. As a matter of fact, you can, with this method, you could teach the hand that you do not use for writing to draw, because it is the very beginning and it's just a matter of experience. I have done that experiment, and it works if you want to teach your other hand to draw, and that's kind of fun too. So now what you have to do is look at a photograph, a painting, a picture, at a person close to you, and just realize that maybe you can make, instead of a head with a circle, You can make a rectangle to make it look a bit more human. Might not look very human, but you're actually getting closer to human proportions. And now you realize that there's an elbow, so you stretch the arm and you make an elbow. Just like that. You stretch the arm over here, make an elbow. Very primitive. Stick figures, still very, very primitive. And maybe you think, okay, there's a hand. So you make a hand just like that. It's missing the fingers, it's missing a bunch of things, but the thing is to keep going and keep drawing until you get more detail. You might want a shoe. So I make a little rectangle, that's a shoe. I'm going to make another rectangle here, it's a shoe. One is bigger than the other. Right now it doesn't matter. You just need to start drawing and to let loose, to just trust yourself to draw. Doesn't matter if one arm is bigger, the hand is just a little strange rectangle. You just have to do it. And you will learn if you find this fun. If you have the patience to do this and it's amusing you, you will learn how to draw, and after that you will learn how to paint. So I make another hand right here, a little rectangle, and I decide to make a couple of eyes, just two little circles, and maybe a mouth. There we go. What I'm doing from the first step to the second is adding detail. So I'm gonna make some pants. I just make a little line on the waist, and now my stick figure has pants. Could be a man, could be a woman. You might want to think about the knees to make the legs have the, I think, flexion it's called, when they bend, when the legs bend. You might think about the knees, the place where the knees are, and I just stretch the leg from here down. I make another rectangle. Doesn't matter if now the figure has 4 legs, doesn't matter. You just have to go on and on. So I make these knees to remember that the legs have one part and then another one and then the foot. And now it's a bit of a mess, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to erase this, you don't have to begin a new one. I would advise to just continue. I'm gonna make a little line on the neck, and now it looks like it has a t-shirt, that my little stick figure has a t-shirt. And I'm gonna make a little triangle on the right in the middle of the face to make a nose. Very primitive. It's starting to look even messier. That is fine. Just make a little mess there on your picture, because you're a beginner and you just need to go on and on. Doesn't matter if it looks ugly, if it doesn't look nice. Just go on and have fun messing it up, adding detail. At this point, I'm gonna make a little belly button right here. I know it has a t-shirt on, doesn't matter, just do it. Hair, let's just put bunch of hair on his head. You might be drawing a girl, so I don't know, you might make long hair. You might want to draw a guy with long hair. You can do whatever you want, you can draw it. I'm gonna draw an ear here. Just it looks like a stick, it looks all funny and weird, it doesn't matter. Just go on and on. And now I'm just gonna color in with black on his shirt. There we go, there it is. I'm doing it with my left hand, and normally I use my right hand, but as I teach you how to draw, I'm teaching myself how to draw with my left hand, which is basically the same as learning how to draw. Now I'm gonna make another figure right next to that one. So I begin again, but instead of beginning with a circle, I begin with the rectangle. I make the head a rectangle because the head is more rectangular than circular. Still, some people have a very round head. You just get creative, and if you prefer a round head, go ahead and do it. So I'm gonna make the eyes right here, my little circles, my little triangle that represents the nose, and now the mouth will be just like a line, so it's gonna be like a closed mouth. I'm gonna make one ear, another ear, which is just like 2 half circles, a neck. I'm gonna make a long neck this time, and I'm gonna make the body just a rectangle like that, but I'm not gonna put anything in the middle. Now I'm gonna make my arm stretch like that and like that instead of just making one line. And I'm gonna make the other arm pointing up because I want this little figure that I'm making to be pointing one of their arms up. Why not? It's gonna be like waving, and right there. I might want to add fingers because the thing here is to make more detail, more and more detail. So why not? Here's the thumb. which is like towards the inside of the body. And here's 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers, big chubby digits. It doesn't matter. It's going to look like a very strange thing in the beginning because your hand is not yet educated to draw in a more realistic fashion. But this is the very base to start drawing this way, to then learn to draw in a more realistic fashion. So here's one leg. I'm going to make it longer. And here's the other leg. I'm going to make it longer. There we go. There's the legs with pants. And then I'm going to make a shoe. There we go, one shoe, which is just like a little rectangle with crooked lines. It doesn't matter how crooked it is. I'm going to make the other one huge, just like that, in case somebody made their foot really big. It doesn't matter if you don't have proportions right now. It just doesn't matter. Now I'm going to make this little hand thinking of this one, and I'm going to eliminate the little lines there between the fingers and the hand. So I'm just going to make a thumb, and then the fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm comfortable drawing big because that way I can handle my detail and all that. Maybe right now I'm not ready to draw a tiny little hand in the proportion of this body, but to make sure that I draw all the fingers, I decided to make this huge hand that looks like a baseball thing there. The baseball things to catch the balls. So now I have a hand with 5 fingers here and a hand with 5 fingers over there. And I'm gonna make a little hairdo. Maybe I'm gonna look at a video game picture and I'm gonna make the little hairdo like that, kind of like Bart Simpson. I'm gonna make a guy with a big hairdo like that. I just made one line to one side, one line to the other side, and this like blade, spiky blade looking thing on top, and now I have a difference between this guy and this guy right here. I made a little hairdo there, and basically I have a new complete human figure here. And the point, once again, my step 1 was very little detail, beginning with a stick figure, with a very primitive stick figure. This is level 0. Level 1 is my same stick figure with more detail. Level 2 is simply making another one with more detail. It doesn't matter if it's all messy, the lines have gone crooked, if they intersect, if they touch, the lines doesn't matter. The thing is to do it. Number 3 is the same thing, exactly the same thing, but with more detail. So I decided to make bigger figures to get more detail. You might be comfortable drawing tiny things. Some people love drawing tiny things. Some people like drawing big things. You might want to start with a bigger piece of paper. You might want to make the human figure in the entire page. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to turn my notebook this way. I'm going to flip the page, and I'm going to make a big stick figure here. Well, not really stick figure, but my human figure. So I'm going to make the rectangle a little roundish. I'm gonna make the neck. I'm gonna make the body in one single go, just like that, my big rectangle. But now I'm gonna think about shoulders. We have everyone has shoulder muscles, so I'm gonna add them here. I didn't think of it when I made my rectangle, but I can just add them on top. So I want to think of those muscles and develop them later. So I'm gonna draw them like that. I'm gonna make one arm like this, the beginning of it, the other arm like that, with my 2 crooked little lines. And now I'm gonna make this arm, the part of this arm pointing this way, and I'm gonna make a circle on the elbow just to remember the elbow. I'm gonna close the arm right here. I'm gonna wait for making my hand later, and now this time this arm will be pointing down like that. I'm gonna close the line there, so now I have like a shirt. I'm gonna make the legs like this, 1 and 2, and now there's not much proportion, but it's still working. Doesn't matter. I'm even gonna make the shoes here, 1 here and 1 there. That's my shoes, and I'm gonna make the head close right there. So I'm adding lines that intersect. I'm kind of messing it up, but that is just fine. Just go on and do it. Now I'm gonna draw a belly button here to think of the belly button of the belly. I'm even gonna draw a belly right here. The guy is wearing clothes, but I want to think of the human parts of the human body, so I just made a little belly right there. I'm going to make the other elbow over here on the outside of the body, and I'm going to draw another hand. Here we go. Thumb first towards the inside, and then I'm going to make a rectangle here instead of drawing the fingers. A hand has space here. It is like a rectangle, and then the fingers. So I'm gonna kind of do it like that. I'm gonna look at my own hand, and I'm gonna copy the structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. According to me, this is a more realistic hand, and it's just a step towards my work in working to first draw in a realistic manner. So there we go. I might even add the lines, the little lines on the center of the hand. I'm gonna draw them. I'm not gonna take a lot of time to make detail. I'm just gonna do 1, 2, 3. There's the little lines in the middle of the hand, and I'm gonna make the other one. So I'm gonna do the thumb towards the inside, the rectangle, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. I decided to make like those little spikes there. Who knows? Maybe I'm thinking of drawing a superhero, a monster, whatever. It doesn't matter. I kind of found those interesting, and I got my two hands now. Now I'm gonna make the mouth. I'm gonna make lips. So I'm going to make a little kind of a circle here, an oval. And according to me, that's a pair of lips. So I'm just going to put a line in the middle, and those are lips. And I want to make them more complex. I look in the mirror and I see that most people have like this separation on the top, so I'm going to add it there. It looks like nothing, but I just want to think of it, so I add it and I put it there, and later on I will work on making it more realistic. Now my triangle, 1, 2, 3. There's the nose. I can probably work a lot more on that. But at the beginning, maybe to just start, for starters, I'm going to make triangles for noses. I'm going to make a little nostril here and a little nostril there. I'll work on it later to make it more realistic. I'm going to make, instead of the circles for the eyes, I'm going to make this almond-looking things, this like seed-looking things. 1 line, 2 lines, and there's the eyes. Everybody loves drawing eyes. For some reason, humans love drawing eyes. That's what most people draw when they start doodling on a piece of paper to get going and get drawing. And I'm going to do little circles. 1, 2 in the middle of each eye. There we go. Maybe I'll just color them in. I'm going to color them in, still doing it with my left hand, so I'm learning as you are learning. So here we go, there's 2 eyes. So now according to me that's more realistic. I'm working towards realism. I'm going to make eyebrows, just like that, just scratching in some eyebrows, just like that. There we go. This doesn't matter if it's too big, too disproportionate. I just have to begin somewhere. Now 1 ear and the other ear. And I look in the mirror and I know that ears are not exactly something that looks like that, but I'm going to work on it little by little, so I'm just going to keep it simple for the moment. Now I'm just going to add hair sticking up. I have a tendency to draw people with hair sticking up. I like that, so I'm going to do it. I'm just going to draw hair by hair, just lots of lines, lots of lines. Maybe you're drawing something else. Maybe you drew like a hairdo like that. I mean, maybe you drew a hairdo like a hat. I mean, you can. Why not? Let's make a hat. You know, a box on top, and then a couple of lines like that, and your figure has a hat. Now I'm gonna complete the t-shirt looking thing. So instead of drawing a line here on the neck, I'm gonna make a little line like that, kind of like a semicircle going down. Not at all a circle, it's just very imprecise, but for my beginners drawing, I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna make an effort in making it very geometrical or perfect. I'm just gonna do it. I gotta let loose of my hand. Now I'm gonna make a little line here and a little line there, and now I have a t-shirt. So there's a t-shirt for my human figure, and compared to my other human figures, this is more realistic than the previous ones. So that is absolutely the point, just to get more and more realistic. I'm gonna think of the chest, so I'm gonna make a little line here and a little line there. Now the guy's starting to look a little naked, and you might want to draw a naked person first, because to understand human anatomy and then to put clothes on them, you might want to draw them naked, but you don't have to. You can draw whatever you want in any way you want. So to understand the chest and the belly, I have done that for the moment on this figure, just to start understanding human anatomy. I'm going to go down to the legs, which are kind of small. They're quite small for this body, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to think of the knees, one knee here, one knee there, which actually do look like circles in reality, the knees. And that's just to divide the space of the legs, to have one bit from the upper part and one bit from the upper part here, and then the lower part of the leg. And this barely look like legs. That is fine. Just go on. I'm going to make an arch here. I'm going to make an arch for the legs, for the separation of the legs. I'm going to make another line to just understand the pants and t-shirt. And I'm going to leave this human figure at that. And I will make another one. I'm going to make another one right here. The more you draw, the more you will pick up experience and the better you will draw. So if you just draw for 10 or 15 minutes each day, it'll go slow for you. If you take an hour, if you take 2 hours for drawing each day, or even more, it'll go better. So I'm going to begin again with the head. I'm going to make a rectangle here for the head, but instead of making it sharp, instead of making sharp angles, I'm going to make round angles for the head. Round angle for the top, like that. For every angle of this rectangle is going to be a bit round, and then I'm going to go down with the neck. So now I want my box here that represents the head to be a little bit more round. I might even draw like a half circle just like that, and that way I'm gonna get closer to realism, because of course a head is not a box, but I have to go little by little. So I'm gonna make a round bottom of the head. As you can see, there's lots of lines there. It's a bit of a mess, but that is just fine. I'm gonna make the eyes straight away, one here, one there, and my little triangle for the nose, the lips that I just learned how to draw like that. Maybe I cannot fit the line in the middle, so I make another thing like that, and there are my lips. I'm gonna even like to start drawing cheeks. I'm gonna draw cheeks and those lines that people have in between the mouth and the nose. They might not be very accurate anatomically speaking, but in the beginning that is just fine. I'm gonna make the little circles on the eyes, and I will color them in. There we go. There we go. And the big thick eyebrows, you might want to draw the eyebrows thinner. I'm gonna make one ear, and over here the other ear is gonna be like a half 8, like that. It's because I realized that ears are not really one round thing, but actually kind of like a half 8 looking figure. They're different, doesn't matter if it's not symmetrical. Now I'm gonna make a large hairdo for this stick figure, like that. There we go. I decided to make kind of an afro there on this guy's hair, and now I'm gonna make a little round thing before I start drawing the body. And now I'm gonna go for the body. I'm gonna remember the shoulders. So I'm gonna make something round here. I'm gonna make something round here, and I'm going to remember the chest. So instead of making 2 lines like that, I'm gonna go in this way. I'm gonna go in like that and like that. So instead of just making a box, I'll just go in like that, and this part I'm gonna make it thinner. Now this guy's starting to look fit, because he looks like his chest is a bit bigger than the lower part of his body. That's fine. This guy does a lot of exercise. I'm gonna close down the waistline, and I'm gonna close down the shirt. I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna go like that. The arms are different sizes, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go there on with my arms, and I'm gonna remember that people have muscles. I mean, some people don't. I don't have a lot of muscles, but just for human anatomy, I'm gonna put a little bit of muscles there on this guy, and then I'm gonna remember the shoulders. I mean, the shoulders are up here. I'm gonna remember the elbows. I'm gonna make an elbow here, and I'm just gonna draw 2 lines there to make the rest of the arms. I'm gonna close the arms right here, even if the guy is wearing a shirt, just for to organize. And I'm gonna make a hand. So 1 finger here, rectangle in the middle. I'm gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. The sizes are all whatever. And you just have to observe about sizes, proportions, look at your own hands, and you might get drawing hands with more proportions than that. You just need experience. I'm gonna make the other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Very, very simple hand. I didn't even leave much space here for the bucks, for the fingers, the hand, the inside of the hand. But you know, it'll come with time. You just have to do it a lot. And now I'm gonna make the pants like this. One side of the pants, one side of the pants, the legs. I'm gonna make an arch here. There we go. Now this guy is basically complete, but you can add detail. You might want the hair to be black. You might want the hair to be blonde. So I'm just gonna add my lines. I just like making lines there. Lots of lines, lots of lines, lots of lines. There we go. The guy has hair. And I'm gonna add in some eyebrows. I mean, not eyebrows, eyelashes, I'm sorry. There we go, just little lines on the top of the eye. There we go, eyelashes, just huge eyelashes on this guy. And now my guy has some eyelashes. And I'm going to add a little line below the eye, just like that and like that. Some human traits that I have observed. And who knows, maybe you have observed a friend that has like a line here and a line there, a very thick neck or a very thin neck. So as you observe photographs, paintings, pictures of people or people just around you, you might want to add details that that you have seen, and just go on and do those details. This is a front drawing of a man. On my next figure, I am going to draw a woman. So I make my little rectangle, round rectangle like that, tuck, tuck, tuck. I'm gonna make the neck. I'm gonna close down the t-shirt line for the neck. I'm going to do the body, but this body, which looks more like a man because it's quite like a rectangle. I'm going to make the waist right here. I'm gonna make a waistline there and there. Basically, according to me, a woman looks kind of like that. The waist is goes in. It's kind of thinner, and the hips are wider. So instead of making straight lines like that, I'm going to make these wide hips that then go in like that. And I'm going to make, I could make an arch right here, but according to me, a woman has this kind of structure, like that, and like that. Everybody looks different, but this is my basic female structure. I'm gonna make this arch like this. According to me, this looks like a woman. This is a basic way of drawing a woman. I'm gonna make a little shirt close in like that. And I'm going to make the arms just go like that. 2 lines, 2 lines. Remember my elbow, but I'm not going to draw it. 2 lines like that. 2 lines like that. I made the arms look thinner, but you can draw them as thin or wide as you wish. I'll close the t-shirt line here. And I will add a couple of lines here. One here that looks like this. And one here that looks like that. And according to me, that makes my figure feminine looking. The waist is one of the most important parts that make me think about the larger hips. And I have the head here. The hands, I could basically draw them the same. My big rectangle. The fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4. The thumb, 1. Rectangle, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. According to me, that's a female looking figure. And I'm going to make a line for the hair, just like that. That goes from the shoulder, shoulder to shoulder, mostly. And, well, for beginners, I could start drawing the face exactly like I draw the man, the male figure. But as you observe and as you start looking at photographs and people, you will find the difference that you want to apply to the drawing to make it look like a man or like a woman. There we go, the basic eye form, just like that. I put the little circles inside, I fill them in. I make some thick eyebrows like that. And now it is time to practice what you have learned on this tutorial. Make your little stick figure and then make it more complex and more and more and more until you can draw the human figure a little bit better each day, a little bit better each drawing that you make. Small drawings, big drawings, whatever you want. Just get a lot of practice on these new skills that you're developing, which is basically one, to draw in order to eventually start painting. I will see you very soon on the next tutorial on part 2 of learning to paint. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.